What's going on, guys? Here's Baps back again from another pre-Rift event. I I had a pretty interesting experience today at this pre-Rift event. I'll tell you why. Hold on. One of my cards is a little bent up, but thankfully it's just an uncommon. Sorry about the balancing here. Let's see if it just quiets down with the brightness. This is the first time at a pre-rift where I did a pivot. And when I say I pivoted, I hard pivoted. So at this pre-rift event, I got the seeded Diana pack. And I got kind of worried because I'm not usually a blue-purple kind of player. I do play Irelia Constructed, and that means I have some purple in there. But that's like it. Like I just play green, purple, Irelia, and I just go in and I like to buff stuff up, okay? I don't really have this whole braininess in me that it takes to play something like this. I tried it out. I played one game of it, and I got totally washed. Like it was such a decisive victory for my buddy that I just felt totally miserable in that match. We even played one more for fun, and it did not go well for me. I lost both very handily. So as soon as we wrapped up those games, we submitted results and everything, I looked at my cards, and I just made an entirely new deck. First, I'll show you with a deck that I made here using the seeded pack. We have the Legend, we have Diana. I kept them both in the zones there. And then I just had some good stuff for blue and purple, or at least I felt like it was good stuff. Just stuff that I didn't know where I was going with this, to be honest. And I pivoted into yellow because of one card, which you'll see soon. So here we go. We have the Crescent Strike, Star Crossed. I had some cool stuff where I could like discard people's stuff. I had the little purple guy 3-drop that discards their stuff, and then I have 2 Starcross, the Bewitching Spirit, and then I had 2 Starcross, like thinking I was going to discard people's hands. It did not really go that route. You'll see why I have yellow in here soon. I pulled this Rift Herald, and I thought, hey, why don't I just throw yellow in here? Surely that'll work, because there's some yellow kill spells, stuff like that. I'll just draw a bunch of cards, maybe. But I literally did nothing with this deck. I just floundered in the first normal game, and then in the game for fun, try to learn the deck some more. I just totally floundered. So then I looked through my stuff, and I noticed I had a Master Yi Legend and the Champion. So I just looked through my deck, and I just picked up almost everything in green and orange that I had, because I did not have much. And I threw in some red good stuff, because a lot of my rares were red. And I have a story about this guy, including those 2 things. I didn't get to test the Blade of Battle Axe. It seemed kind of fun, though. Boom, boom, boom. Just showing you guys what I had. Honestly, some of these red cards are just in here because I needed 25 cards. But I ended up going 2-1. Lost with the Diana deck. Won the next 2 games with Yi. I put these to the side because this, in my last game, was one of the biggest swings I've ever had. So, pretty early in the game, I had, let's see, was it this guy? No. I had a Wuju Apprentice, and I had the Honey Fruit, like, on turn 1. So, I had the Honey Fruit on turn 1, I think. One of these was turn 1, one of these was turn 2, okay? But I think this was turn 1. So then I put the Honey Fruit down. It's exhausted. And then it readied. And then I threw down the Wuju Apprentice. It happened in some order like this. But basically, my Wuju Apprentice ended up being pretty stacked up, holding down a battlefield with this Soul Sword and this machete, okay? So it was kind of imposing. He was like a 5 to 6 might. And at some point, because I had the battlefield that I'll pull up right now, which I ended up using twice. I picked 3 battlefields, but in 2 of my games, they picked amateur recital, which is pretty sweet. It says come on, focus. When you hold here, you may move a unit at a battlefield to its base, and that can be friendly or opponents. Okay, so when I was holding, I had 2 things holding when I readied on one of my turns, and they had a Master Yi on the other battlefield. I decided to move, instead of moving the Master Yi out of their battlefield to keep them from holding, I moved my Wuju Apprentice back. And mind you, they had some runes up, okay? So they could do a trick or something. And I decided I'm going to move in my Wuju Apprentice for a decisive victory, right? They ended up using a pump spell and gave it like 3 might. So their Master Yi was at like 8 because he had a +1 from something else. I think she already had XP. So this was like a 8 or 9. Oh no, it was an 8. So it killed this, and luckily enough, I top decked this before that turn once that turn started. And Towering Pyrophant says, if the unit died this turn, I enter ready. I dropped down the Pyrophant, tap the honey fruit to throw on one of these, and then I throw on the other, and then I just went in, and he has Assault 1 as well. I went in because I had the XP proc for the Soul Sword with like an 11 might swing and ran over the 8 might Master Yi. And that was one of the biggest tempo swings ever and resulted in me winning this game. So this deck kind of went crazy pants. Let's give you another look through on it. I feel like it's not even that good. I just had like 2 Kinku Initiates, some other good XP stuff, a combat trick or 2. Honestly, I literally have 1 combat trick. I have a Vault Breaker. I didn't end up using it. But this deck just kind of went ham, which is funny because the other day I played Master Yi and I went 1 and 2. So I had a really good time at the pre-rift and I won these 2 packs. So I just wanted to open these up on camera and see what we pull. Hope you all have been having fun at this pre-rift season and hope you're all having a wonderful day. So let's see. Riptide Ruined Rex, Arena Kingpin, Mutated Mauser, Soul Harvest, Hunter's Machete, Mega Tusk, Crimson Pigeons, Altar of Blood, Deadly Flourish, Lotus Trap, Foil Gemhand Hunter, Yumi. Ooh, wow, how relevant. We got an Alpha Strike signature spell for Master Yi. Now that's sick. I like to see that. And then let's see what we got in the last pack. Surely it's an Ultimate Baron, right? Let's see. Towering Pyrophant. This is a good sign. This is my favorite card of the day. Wuju Apprentice. Wow, how relevant to that story I just told you. Moonlight Affliction. Revna the Lore Keeper. Bewitching Spirit. Shepherd's Heirloom, Gemhand Hunter, Gardens of Becoming, Flurry of Feathers. This card seems pretty sweet. People have been talking a lot about this card and how it's really good, especially in limited for Ivern players because you get those birds. Gentle Gem Dragon, Foil Fate Weaver, Blue Diana, Rengar Legend. Nothing really crazy in that pack, but still good cards to add to my collection for this new set. Anyway, this was just going to be a short little video recapping the 4th pre-rift I've been to now. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. Hope you're having a great week this pre-release season, and just best of luck in your polls. Have a wonderful rest of your day, guys. Bye-bye.